Hello community, back again. So I've made numerous videos on this exact subject. I find it very disturbing. Anybody else who finds it okay, I would probably question a lot of what you're thinking and why you think that. If you don't know how to manage emotions and you don't know how to manage, I probably wouldn't comment. Please feel free to watch all my content. Check out Lake Station Strong Towns Collective on Facebook, Lake Station Strong Local Conversations as well. Obviously you're here, so you know where my TikTok is. There's going to be a YouTube, and I do have a new website that is on the Lake Station Strong Towns Collective Facebook group. But this is what I wanted to touch on, is this comment right here. Why don't you just move? Somehow this is community. This is what community does. If you don't like it, just move. Now, I don't know where people assume that that's very community-like. I don't feel that is community-like. But I did call out what's going on, and it's because you have to fit a narrative. You have to obey. They tell you who to believe, who not to believe, who to trust, who not to trust, who to be afraid of, what to think about whom, and what not to think about whom. And if you don't comply, then you don't get to eat of their poisonous fruits. No free thinking, just scaring and intimidation, mocking and threatening. It sounds real community-like. And that was the response I got. Now, a lot of people are saying that I'm complaining and whining. Now, if you remember some of my first videos, I was drawing attention to the missing backboards, why the missing backboards were broken or missing, and for months. But yet they had the ability to throw festivals, and numerous festivals, mind you. But yet we're not taking care of the community, but yet we're having festivals. And that was my argument. I also was drawing attention to that the street sweepers were out. That they never found the street sweepers. It was missing, it was broken, it was busted down, and then it was the mechanic's fault and all of those things. So I drew attention to the fact that our streets were dirty and that there were playgrounds completely being neglected. It's funny, since I've said that, they've gotten to cleaning the streets and they've gotten to putting some mulch or lipstick on a pig on a playground where it already had mulch. And of course, they put up 2 new swings, someone cut them down. It's beyond me why anybody would do that. It's horrible to even think that somebody would even do that. But I took the up on myself to take the backboard off my home that I no longer need, and decided to paint an eagle on it. I'm not finished with it. I've been pretty busy with things. But, just to say the mention. Now, I do and call out a lot of behaviors. Now, if people feel guilty or if they feel like they have a guilty conscience, that's on them. I'm just saying that there's better ways of managing our land, our assets, our resources within town. There's better ways of designing things within town. There's way better ways of doing this. But unfortunately, that's the response that anybody gets when it doesn't fit their narrative, the way that they want things in town. And that's fine. You don't have to want everything the same way. You don't have to have it my way. And that's perfectly okay. And, hey, to each their own. But for a lot of folks, we want to see cleaner streets. We want to see better, well taken care of, more modernized playgrounds. We want to see cleaner and brighter lighting and better trails and well-kept trails. And we want to see better things. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a total bonus. But people say that you're complaining and you're whining, and then they tell you just move. That's not very community-like. And if you accept that, maybe you should do some searching for yourself and find that that's really not cool, that's not okay. So, these are some of the things that advocates such as myself have to deal with. That's okay. That's fine. But if it was just my whining and my complaining, then why are the backboards fixed? Why was the street sweeper dragged out of its chambers and the streets were being cleaned? And how come all of a sudden all the playgrounds were getting mulch and wow, they're not neglecting it no more all of a sudden? But they only did that what's called fixed to restricted. They only did it enough so it shut people up. I'm not going to stop. I have energy for days. I can continue this. I have lots of things that need to be addressed within town, and I'm going to draw attention to them because it needs to be drawn attention before somebody ends up dead or killed because of neglect and ignorance of not doing their jobs properly. And if they feel guilty about that, that's on them. I'm a community member who deserves better, along with and many others, and even if they don't feel like they deserve it, trust me, they deserve for things to be well kept around here. That's why you pay taxes. I'm the Lake Station community advocate and educator, and if you don't like my content, don't watch it. If you do, maybe it gets you to think a little bit differently, and I hope that it does. Check out Lake Station Strong Towns Collective on Facebook, Lake Station Strong Local Conversation, YouTube, which I'm working on, but I also have a website now up and going on the Lake Station Strong Towns Collective Facebook page, so go check that out.